Good morning, and welcome to today's DotNetNuke webinar. I'm Bob Kruger, Senior Vice President of Engineering, and with me is Nathan Rover, Senior E-Commerce Engineer. We're here today to introduce you to the Extension Verification Service, also known as EVS. EVS. It's simply put a new way to test extension compatibility. As we all know, extensibility is essential to DNN's success, and EVS is an important enhancement to the DNN portfolio. Today, we're going to go through a number of topics, and these will actually go pretty quickly. First, we'll start off with an overview of the Extension Verification Service. Again, we refer to it affectionately as EVS. We'll show you not only how EVS works from a demonstration standpoint, it'll be live. We'll talk to you about who can use EVS and the goals. And we'll also show you where you can provide feedback and ask questions about EVS. So you should also know that following this webinar, EVS will be available for your use directly. Again, all of it is live. So let me dive into an overview of EVS itself. It's a new service to simplify compatibility testing for DotNetNuke extensions of all types, modules, skins, etc. It provides value in a number of forms. It tests minimum version compatibility with DotNetNuke. It looks at Windows SQL Azure compatibility, which we see today as a major obstacle towards deployment in the cloud. So definitely we'd like to help everybody on that front. It checks that extensions are packaged correctly. We've seen that on a number of occasions, both from third-party vendors as well as from corporate developers, that they've had difficulties with this and that there's been a lack of consistency. So again, believe that this will be very helpful. This
hey,
is
Bob?
Yes?
So sorry to interrupt, but I believe that your screen is paused.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I had pressed the other. Thank you for doing it. Do you want me to back up?
I think you can probably continue going from where you are. I think you're okay.
Okay. Well, I did. That's interesting because I did have it actually on the
there you go.
forward on play. But at any rate, I won't. I'll spare everybody the text again and just quickly jump into where we're headed and what the objectives are for the service. Picking up from where I left off, again, this is a cloud-based service designed to quickly adapt. It's the sort of thing that we can update very readily as improvements are made to DotNetNuke or as we obtain feedback from people as to how we can improve better the caliber of our service. So with that in mind, why don't we go to the really important stuff. Let's see how EVS works, and for that I'll turn over the platform to Nathan. Just a moment here, and we'll make Nathan the presenter. There we go.
Excellent. Thank you, Bob. All right, so this is the home page for EVS. It's a very straightforward, simple page. Pretty much the main objective here is to have you upload the extension that you want to verify. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll pick one. This is the forums module that I just downloaded out of Codeplex. So we'll open that and press begin. So you see we have a double progress bar, one showing you your overall progress and one showing the current item that's being worked on. So we just uploaded it and we got picked up by the processor. So it's currently being processed in the background. There we go, and it finished. And it's redirecting us now to our results page. All right, so here's our results. So we just processed the forum module. Here's the file name. This is an area here that covers a basic list of stats, if you will, about the module, including package name, package type, version, whether or not it's Azure compatible, the minimum required .NETNuke version, the minimum required .NET version, and whether or not there's any errors, warnings, or info items. So along that line, with the errors and warnings that we see we have two, that corresponds to this area of the site down here where we have these expandable panels to display the errors. So as you can see here, we've got quite a few errors, but it looks like quite a few of these are actually duplicate errors. These are all errors that came out of the SQL Azure compatibility check, and it seems that the SQL scripts are using not for replication, which doesn't work in Azure. And then we also have table hint without with is not supported in this version of SQL Azure. And on primary is not supported. So all in all, it looks like the only errors that we actually have with this module are SQL Azure compatibility errors. We also have 3 warnings, and it looks like the 3 warnings are also SQL related. The system would prefer that the SQL script files end with a go command. So if you want to save these results so that you can come back and refer to them later, we give you a couple options. It includes downloading the file as a CSV, as an XLSX, or as a XML file. So I'll download this one as an example. And here we have our results output into a Excel file. So you can come back and reference this if you want. It also gives you the option of emailing the results to you. You just put your email address in here and then hit submit, and it will send you an email with this basic summary information, and it will actually also attach the CSV file, the XLSX file, and the XML file to the email. If you are, if your module comes through with shining results and you'd like to share your results with the world, you can also share this page on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter using the social icons here. And then if you have a question or feedback or a bug with the system, you can also submit that using the forum, which is now set up on DotNetNuke.com. We can go through and test another one if you like. It's relatively quick. We'll go back to the start page here and then do the blog module. All right, it's processing. All right, it's finished. It'll redirect us to the results page. All right, so in this one it looks like we've also got a few errors with our SQL Azure scripts, so we'll go in and look at these. And here we actually have an additional one. So there's a problem in the manifest file that all file nodes must have a base path specified. So that failed, and the rest of these appear to all be SQL Azure compatibility errors. And then on our warnings, we also have a warning here because the package does not specify an owner email, and it looks like a couple SQL warnings. So, and again, this has, our basic information about the file here, and so with that, that's pretty much it for the demo. So I'm going to pass it back over to Bob to finish the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Let me get my screen back here. Great. Thank you very much for that. I hope everybody gets the point that we want to keep this as simple as possible. That's as always our objective here. We definitely want to make this something that people feel comfortable using and want to use. The service has also been set up so that you can take as many packages as you can submit, and it will queue them up and let you know where you are in the queue. So let's talk about EVS and who can use it. Essentially anybody. Anybody, could be a corporate developer, could be a vendor on the store, could be someone producing packages as a consultant, doesn't matter. If you want to check a package that you've received, that you're not just the original developer, that's fine. Run it through. I feel that it'll be very helpful. The service is available for beta testing now. You can see the link. It's http://evs.dotnetnuke.com, and there are no restrictions as to who can test or how many packages can be uploaded. The one thing we do ask is that you provide us with feedback. You really, really need that. There is no charge for using the system, and we don't intend that there ever be a charge for using the system. That is very important. From a goal standpoint, we want to make sure that we provide developers with the simplest way to test version compatibility. It's very useful, again, to know whether or not something will work with version 6 or version 7 of DotNetNuke, and to make sure, again, that it works with SQL Azure. As I said earlier, we found in our own testing a number of cases where things were not Azure ready, and we believe that a lot of people do want to deploy their products in the cloud. And we'd like to make sure that the extensions are properly built and packaged. The error that Nathan showed during his demo for one of the extensions was not uncommon. Quite often we do see that people mispackage products, and that really just does not help provide consumer confidence. So from a key takeaway standpoint, our whole objective is to build consumer trust and vendor confidence. We all recognize the importance of extensibility to DotNetNuke, and this is one way to build confidence on the part of the people that use it, that when they get extensions, that those will work version to version, and instead of just taking somebody's word for it, you'll be able to show them proof that something should at least work properly, that it should install, and that it should be appropriate to the version of DotNetNuke that they're trying to work with. The service, EVS, is ready today for beta testing. We do have the forum live for questions and feedback, and again, it's for anybody in the ecosystem, vendors and corporate developers. Please use it as much as you can, and as always, provide feedback and ask questions. So with that, I believe we can open up the line to questions, and both Nathan and I will remain here to take those. Thank you. Okay, Steph, can we take any questions people might have?
So sorry, I was on mute. So actually, I'm going to have you guys read the questions as I'm not technical, and I won't be able to discern the best ones. In your GoToWebinar platform, there is a expandable menu that is the questions menu, and you will be able to read them there.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything yet.
One moment. So I can go ahead and read just one that just came through. Which versions of DNN are supported? Does it start at 5.0?
Actually, as far as the minimum required .NET version, it starts with it's a very old one. It's not 1.0, but it's pretty close. It'll go.
And then what is the privacy policy?
Basically, we're not storing this stuff for anybody. We're not publishing any of it, so it is private. If somebody runs a package through, they get the results, and they're the only ones to see those.
Great. And another one, what does this actually do? Is this actually installing the package into a bunch of different installations of DNN?
No, we haven't taken it to that extent yet. Currently, it unzips the package and parses the manifest file, examines the manifest for errors, and then compares it against the files that are actually in the package, and then it parses the SQL scripts and runs them through an Azure Compatibility wizard.
All right, and then regarding the EVS stats, for items like minimum DNN version, are these calculated by an algorithm or based on info we have placed in the .dnn file?
It's based on assembly references. So we evaluate not only the .NETNuke assembly reference, if there is one, but perhaps you also reference the Telerik DLL or something other than that. We we keep track of every assembly that's in every version of .NETNuke. And if your module references an assembly that's in .NETNuke, we then use that reference to determine what is the minimum required version of .NETNuke to support that.
Great, and it actually looks like we have a few people that have said that this is a great new feature and that they're very excited for it and can't wait to start using it. But if there are any more questions, go ahead and type them into your GoToWebinar platform. Otherwise, I think we've answered everything. Oh, here, actually, there's another one that came in. So you would report a difference between reference and minimum DNN version and minimum DNN version in manifest?
We don't actually check the difference between that right now, but that's definitely something we can do.
How is the minimum .NET version determined?
That's again determined by the assemblies that are in the package. We evaluate each one of the assemblies and we evaluate all the references for each assembly inside the package, and then we determine which versions of the .NET GAC assemblies are needed to satisfy those references, and then that's how we come up with that number.
Great. So I think, you know, if there are any more questions that come in, go ahead and use the forums link on the site, and we encourage you all to use it. And with that, I will turn that back to Bob Kruger for just a little wrap-up.
Okay, thank you. Well, again, I thank everybody for participating in today's webinar. Hope you liked what you saw and that you let the rest of the community know that it's available for everyone's use. I expect that there should be quite a few tweets going out shortly about this. We are intending to beta test EVS for a couple of months and then you know, produce it as a live service. We also, during that time, will be making some additional improvements, some of those based on your feedback and some based on our own wish list. And in the first quarter is when we expect to go fully live. So again, thanks for your participation and attention today and your support as always. Goodbye.